the Lazy Bum reviewer here, and as you can tell by the hat I'm wearing, I'm going to be reviewing Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition. I'll get my full review up of the original edition, of just the theatrical release up. I'm thinking of reshooting it. That's probably what I'm going to do. Ultimate Edition, it is night and day. It is so much better. I thought the original was just absolute trash. Starting right off the bat, Lex Luthor's plan for the first around 2 hours actually makes sense now. The scenes that they cut were criminal, especially in the desert. Now you see there's like lasered bodies, you see like stuff like that where you're like, oh, so that's why they thought that Superman was the guy who killed them. I got his motivations. I got to get more behind him this time. I'm still not totally satisfied with this version of Superman. I think he's a little bit too mopey. I think he's a little bit unproactive. I think he just generally doesn't do anything in this film outside of being sad. But I definitely got why he would go after Batman. Like, I was like, oh, okay, so this is why he went after Batman. You get like a woman being like I want to say baby mama. I would think the term would be of his child, of the child of the guy that Batman brands earlier on in the film. Says that like like men like that, words don't stop him. You know what stops him? A fist. And you get more backstory on who Batman was with lines like there's a new kind of mean in him. Where you're like, oh, okay, so like he hasn't always been like this, and you got that out of the first film, but you didn't get a sense of like who he was. And I feel like here you get more of a sense of like what exactly about him has gone over the edge. Batman shouldn't kill. Before I had a problem with it because like the way he killed was like a bit hypocritical for going after Superman. And now I'm like, it's not just hypocritical, it's counterintuitive to the story. It seems like, okay, it's all about the branding. Like and that moment when he hits it next to Lex Luthor instead of branding him is a really big moment. It seems like he wasn't supposed to get over the killing. It seems like he was supposed to be on the verge of killing, on the verge of murder, and it would be that moment where he was about to kill Superman. That would be his only kill. That would be his first kill, and he would realize that he was going over the edge and that this was too much and that he needed to stop. I get where they were going with it. It's not well done because Snyder put too much into his action scenes. Yeah, I feel like that one, it's the same thing as Man of Steel. We're just, he's thinking more about the action. He isn't really thinking about what's going on or what this means for the characters and stuff like that. And that's a bit unfortunate. So I like that character arc. I just wish it was done better. I would say just like up until Lex enacts his final step of the plan, like his final, like, okay, now he's getting Doomsday into action and now he's like kidnapping his mom. Up until then, it makes sense. When you get to that stuff, you're like, okay, well, now you've lost me. Like, now it doesn't make any sense. I feel like Superman still could have just flown around the city and just, stuff like that. I feel like that you didn't even need the Martha kidnapping in this version because the enmity between Batman and Superman seemed natural enough to where they'd fight. But they were still being played. I still think it's ridiculous that Batman turns on that bat signal, and if Lex hadn't had his plan, he would have just been sitting there. Like, I think that's a bit silly. Like, where you're just like, okay, he literally would have just been sitting there for hours on end until the rain stopped and the day rolled around, and he just embarrassingly went home because Superman didn't care. Maybe if they fought on their own and Lois came in, that would and been like, hey, you guys have been played. That would have made more sense, but. I can't rewrite the movie. I just work with what I got. What I got doesn't make any sense. Say for the most part, this extended edition, this Ultimate Edition, is a vastly improved film. I'd say the original film was like a 0.5 out of 10. This version is around a 6. I would say 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I want to say 7 just to be generous. It's a 7 out of 10. I will say it's a good movie. It's not perfect. It's heavily flawed. It's on the verge of being bad, but it's a good or a mediocre film. If you hated the original, pick this copy up or rent it if you can. or borrow it from a friend, something, and check it out. Give it a watch, because it's definitely the improved version, and if you love the original, you're gonna love this version even more. That's about all I have to say. This has been the Lazy Bum Reviewer.